welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, and today I'm going to talk about a theme that you can pick by picking a number 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, first number that pops into your head now without thinking about it too much, okay? So I hope you've got your number. But what I thought I'd do is just add something to the tarot cards, and I'm going to use these psychological cards, okay? And one fits inside the other. I've actually had this deck for probably 35 plus years, so they are a bit ratty around the edges. But basically you pick a number and whatever cards come out, that'll be your theme for the month. And it's really about self-reflection and meditation and really focusing on those cards for the month. So whatever it is that you need to, release and heal. Okay, so although there is some overlap between these cards and tarot cards, these are not tarot cards and they are not predictive as such. But they are about transformation, and we all need to do that now. We're really being called to step up and transform ourselves, make ourselves as advanced spiritually and humanly as we possibly can. All right, so let's go to the board. You've got your number now, I hope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And first card, I've already pre-shuffled these, but just to give them a light shuffle again. The first card, card number 1, we're looking at that one. Okay, I'm closing my eyes. I see a ladder. That's about ascending in consciousness, which I've just been speaking about. It's about your evolution, your transformation, which is why we're all here. Okay, so it says wrong. Now, that may be positive or negative. It's always positive in the sense of if there's issues you're finding out. Okay, so now let's have a look at the inner card and see what comes out to go with card number 1 for the month of May. Card number 1 for the month of May. All right, going with that card there. All right, I don't read reverse cards, by the way. Okay. So this is a shovel. This goes on top of the card that says wrong. A question for you. What are you burying? Is there something deep down inside that has been sitting there but you've maybe been ignoring it, burying it down in your body and not dealing with it? Okay? You can interpret this card whatever way you like. That's just an example interpretation. And so this is something for you to meditate upon and see what it is. What does that shovel mean for you? Okay. To me, it says bury. It's like a funeral. Something maybe has died and, it's sitting there, but it hasn't had the funeral. And so, do a little ritual and let that part go. Let that energy out. Okay, and were you wrong in some way, or were you wrong in burying it, or what is wrong? What is, these are some of the questions you can ask yourself. Okay, they're very, very slippery. They're very slippery. Look at that one. It's moving by itself. Look at that. Okay, I'm just going to have to leave it there because it's doing what it wants to do. All right, card number 2. Card number 2 for the month of May. If you've picked this card, all right, closing my eyes now. And what do I see? I see a door. It is closed, but there's a crack of light underneath that's coming out. This is something perhaps from the past, and there's a chance it could be renewed or reinvigorated, or you might go back to the past and re-look at something here. You might also hear news from old friends or somebody you used to go to school with, or maybe even an ex-lover. Okay, and the card is intimidate. All right, intimidate. Let's see what goes with intimidate. Which one of these inner cards, that one really wants to come out. Okay, and we've got two old people here. All right. Is there a situation, here's a sample interpretation, you need to think about this yourself. Is there a situation where two old people in your family perhaps are being intimidated? Are your parents really fearful at the moment? Or your grandparents? You know, maybe the virus has really got them quite frightened and there's anxiety there. And if that is the case, perhaps you can offer them some reassurance. I mean, there are things we can all do, like stay home, you know, social distancing, washing hands, things like that, so that we can still be empowered and have control in our lives. We're not totally helpless here. Okay, so maybe somebody elderly, if not in your family, maybe it's a neighbour or somebody, I don't know. So it's staying that time. So maybe somebody near you, you know, is feeling intimidated. This could also be like old news coming back from the past or something on the family tree that you hear about, which causes some anxiety, you know, or you're a bit surprised or shocked to hear some of this old news. Excuse me. Card number 3. Card number 3. Card number 3. Okay. And we come up with mother. All right. Mother. And the card that goes within that, the card number 3 for mother, going with that one. Closing my eyes now, what do I see? I see a vehicle, like driving in a car with the windscreen wipers going. It's like, yeah, we're getting there. However, bad weather. It's very windy and raining. So almost like a storm outside. So it could be the general environment, you know, the economy, you know, the country we live in, the politics. It's like the outside conditions are not good. But we are safe in our vehicle here. As long as we drive carefully and drive slowly, we'll be fine. Okay? We're making progress. Oh. Okay, so here, this card that sits within suggests togetherness. Looking at subconscious forces together here. This is the ocean. This could be mother and daughter perhaps. And just surveying what is going on deep down within. And maybe some things come up about your mother this month. Okay, it could be that you have further contact, or something that happened years and years ago, which may have been very difficult at the time. Maybe there's peace that can be made now. Okay, some harmony, some calmness in the situation with your mother. These cards have never done this silly twisting thing before. I don't know what it is. Okay, card number 4. Card number 4 for May 2020. Let's have a look. Going with that one. Closing my eyes. Okay, I see a man's wrist and hand and arm with a watch. So this is saying it's a matter of timing. Something that you've been waiting on to happen, and it's not quite time yet. So be patient, because it won't happen overnight, but it will happen. Oh, and we get joy. Might bring you a lot of happiness and joy when it does happen. Whatever it is. Let's have a look at the card that goes within. Okay, the inner card to go with joy, going with that one. Okay, this can mean several things, in my opinion. This could be a romance, a new romance that comes that brings a lot of joy, and it's somebody who could be older than you or more experienced than you, knows what he or she is doing in life and is very competent in some area. And you might be like the child, or you might be the competent person who meets somebody who is childlike in some way. And we're all at different stages of development in different ways. So if you get me in the kitchen, that's me. Okay, I'm stuck at like a 3-year-old level. My cooking is not good. I'm even a bit scared of the stove, you know, or I forget how to operate the stove or whatever. But my husband does all the cooking. So as far as cooking goes, this is our relationship. But we all have that in some area, you know. None of us are 100% competent in every single area of our lives. So there's two ways of looking at it. In my opinion, if you're strong at something, then go with that, because, you know, at least you're going to get more self-esteem. There is another school of thought that says that you should go with the areas that you're weakest in, so that you can build those areas up. And yes, there is some validity in that, but you don't want to set targets for yourself in life that are impossible for you to attain, because that'll just knock your self-esteem down further. So the trick is to get the balance between the two, so that you set little targets where you are challenging yourself, but only challenge yourself 10%. Okay, it's not about, otherwise it becomes, you know, an excuse to bash yourself up psychologically and tell yourself, you know, how bad you are and how wrong you are, and all of the negative self-talk that goes with that. So that's food for thought. But you could meet somebody who represents this more mature, competent person who's got their act together, or alternatively you could become that person yourself for somebody else. You may also have something going on with your actual father or older male relatives in your family. Perhaps you hear some news, or they come to visit, or something like that. Alrighty, and the last card for the month, card number 5. I'm going with that one. 5 is alive. Closing my eyes now, what do I see? I see a change in direction. I'm walking and then there's a corner and I turn sharply to the right. Okay, of course this could mean your political leaning. However, it might be something that you've been off track with and now you're getting it right, or you're getting in touch with the divine masculine energy, sort of like this one here, that brings a lot of happiness. This card also brings a lot of like achievement too, if you've got a creative project or something on the go. But this leaning to the right is about getting organised in a divine masculine way. Oh, and we come up with the card Erotic. Okay, so erotic in terms of spirituality means coming together with energy. So it comes out of your subconscious and is integrated into your conscious mind, your ego, the part of yourself that you're aware of, your personality. And when that happens, you have control of it, okay? It no longer controls you, you control it. Okay, so that's card number 5. And the inner card that goes with that, the inner card that goes with card number 5 is alive. That one's hanging out. Oh, well, this is very interesting. Okay, in what ways in your life have you retreated from life? Have you sort of sat small in a corner, made yourself small, instead of being the grand person, the big person, taking the bigger picture? You know, in what ways are you making yourself small? Okay, so in May, it's erotic in the sense of you're getting a handle on this energy now, that you're realizing that you are worthwhile. You're integrating this energy, and it is about self-esteem and self-confidence, okay? So if you pick card number 5, focus on increasing your self-esteem and your self-worth in the month of May. So these cards, as I said before, they're all about transformation. And although there are some predictive elements, I mean, these things, you know, often the universe will send us little scenarios to try and test us or check us, you know, have we really got it right? So there may be some times where this physically happens, but the focus is on your healing for the month. Okay, let me know if you think this is a good idea to do this every month. I just had the idea the other day. You know, I love doing predictions, obviously, and I love doing tarot and horoscopes. But I'm also a healer, and, you know, I do believe that we all need to go and heal the fragile parts, the broken parts of ourselves, and we've all got them in, you know, some shape or form. And so hopefully this will give you something to focus on for the month. We'll see how we go with it. You know, my intention is to keep going with it. Fingers crossed it gets a good response. Okay, let me know how you're going and what's happening in your life. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. Share it with your friends too. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful and insightful month. Okay then, thank you and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.